Oh boy, I don't know where to begin with. I'm just too excited about this because Boruto literally made history. This is easily belonging to the top 3 best episodes of Boruto of all time. Boruto episode 217 is just goated without a shadow of doubt. I'm just too excited to even talk properly right now in front of the mic. And I'm sorry if I make any mistakes or I fumble or anything because I'm just making this unscripted totally right out of the bat. I'm just too excited to talk about this. So hello and welcome to Advisey. Thank you so much for joining in. In this video we're going to talk about Boruto episode 217. And I can surely say that this particular arc at least is miles better, especially in the anime. I know I don't really want to compare with the manga every single time, but here the fact is outright laid in front of us. The anime has surpassed the manga, especially for this particular arc. Here, for the first 2 minutes, literally for the first 2 minutes, even before we got the opening song, the action here was just stellar and it was beautiful beyond even my imagination. Last week I told everyone that episode 216 was spectacular, especially because of its storyboarding narrative and the way in which the episode was overall structured. It was not the most technically well animated episode, but this episode, that is 217, surpasses that. It had very good storyboarding, it had very good narration, it had a very good flow, and along with that, this was basically Sakuga Fest. Byron Mode Naruto just obliterated Ishiki Otsutsuki, and this was just beautiful to watch. It was just, you have to see this episode, you have to watch this episode. Why are you even watching this video right now? You don't even need to watch this review video, just go out there and watch this episode. I know the Boruto anime has a lot of problems, but screw that, this episode was fabulous and it deserves all the ratings, all the love that it deserves. A big shout out to all the talented animators and people involved with the show, especially for this particular episode, because you did a magnificent job. And just the first 2 minutes, my goodness, it was just amazing. Even before that opening song came, things were just already really great. Like the taijutsu utilized here and the way in which Naruto was using the QB tails or the nine-tailed tails for the combat and the overall fight, it was just spectacular. He first of all utilized this to keep Boruto out of the harm's way, and this sort of reminded me of the War arc as well, where he was providing or nurturing the people using the QB chakra. It's not entirely the same thing here, but obviously it's a totally different behemoth here because he's facing off against literally one of the most strongest Otsutsuki out there in the form of Ishiki Otsutsuki. And here we get the most stellar information in the form of how Byron Mode is different from any other forms. Because not only is it strong and powerful, but it has probably one of the most hacks abilities in the entire series, which is probably never going to be used ever again. Because here, this is a constant stream of power. It is being utilized by the power of both Kurama as well as Naruto just to maintain this particular form. And because of this particular chakra intake and chakra consumption, whichever character whom Naruto comes in contact with, this mode is going to extract the chakra of that particular character as well. Basically what happens here is that the more Naruto beats Ishiki Otsutsuki in this particular form, his lifespan, that is Ishiki Otsutsuki's lifespan, keeps getting shorter. Prior to the start of this battle, Ishiki Otsutsuki had about a day and a half worth of lifespan, but now after facing off against Naruto in this particular mode, he only had 30 minutes in the beginning. Just imagine that for a second. And the entire thing was just magnificently animated here. It was just so damn good. And really, now that I've seen this particular form for 2 consecutive weeks, I really feel like red is a very good color for this particular form because it encompasses the chakra of Kurama perfectly. Moreover, keeping the references alive, this episode, or at least the taijutsu part of this episode, inherently used the Naruto Uzumaki Barrage, and along with that, it basically encompasses the very same move utilized in the first Naruto vs Sasuke fight at the Valley of the End. It's the very same thing, the moves were the exact same here, and I was just so happy when I immediately got to watch this particular thing. And that is essentially the first half of this episode, where Naruto just wrecked the ever-living shit out of Ishiki Otsutsuki, and this was beautiful to watch. It was just spectacular to watch. But slowly, the side effects of this technique started to appear when Naruto as well as Ichigo Otsutsuki are slowly losing their form here, and the after effects of the Baron mode is pretty evident here because their literal life force is getting sucked out here. So the battle right now is not to kill each other, but rather who is going to survive more. Especially because time is running out for both of these characters, and things basically start to take a very dramatic turn here when Ishiki Otsutsuki starts to choke Naruto because he feels a presence of his chakra, that is Ishiki's own chakra, inside of Naruto from somewhere else, and he immediately recognizes that okay, this is connected to Kawaki. But before coming to that particular plot point, I'm just thankful that the anime has added more anime content here, especially to elongate this particular fight. Now, I know some people might be a little confused here, especially with the fight on top of the water scene, because Naruto was using a Rasengan here. So why exactly was Ishiki not able to extinguish this particular Rasengan? Well, the most obvious answer here is that because Naruto is using Baron mode here. Now, Baron mode here is quite literally constantly supplying chakra from the essence of Naruto as well as Kurama. It's essentially like a fuel for the chakra, and that's why Ishiki Otsutsuki is not able to constantly keep up with this particular shrinking, and that's why the Rasengan was finally able to hit. And this entire moment was just Sakura Fest, and is probably, in my humble opinion, one of the best Rasengans Naruto has ever delivered, period. Just that's it, period. It was just too magnificent to watch, and it surpasses a lot of the other content we have seen so far in the series as well. Now, yet again, I'm not going to make a comparison here to episode 176 or episode 65. That's up to you guys, whichever one you want to prefer. But for me personally, this is definitely among the top 3 Boruto episodes of all time, both in terms of animation as well as narrative and the overall story as well. So yeah, this was some legit good stuff. And essentially after this point, as I told you all, Ishiki Otsutsuki is able to sense the faint chakra of Naruto from somewhere else, and that is the arm of Kawaki. Now, this is the cybernetic arm which Naruto gave to Kawaki, which functioned using the chakra of Naruto himself. Now, while all of this is happening in Konoha, we get to see Kawaki, who is kind of worried about Naruto here because the arm is getting on and off because the chakra feed from Naruto is getting diminished right now. So he's obviously worried about the health of Naruto because something is happening to his chakra, which is quite odd. And unfortunately enough here, immediately Ishiki Otsutsuki is able to make a portal here, and tracking this particular chakra, he's able to suck Kawaki inside this particular dimension, and now things are in a desperate struggle. It's a do or die situation because Ishiki Otsutsuki right now has only about 5 minutes to live, and in that particular time frame he has to transfer the karma, otherwise he is dead. Now, Kawaki has been transported back into this particular dimension, and his job right now is to only survive this onslaught. He has to do anything to survive and to step away from Ishiki Otsutsuki. If they are able to stop Ishiki Otsutsuki from marking Kawaki, then the job is well done. The threat is finally nullified. But of course, Ishiki Otsutsuki is a very difficult person to manage, and Sasuke tries his best. He uses his Aminata Jikara to replace himself with Kawaki, and he also uses some mineral dust to suppress the Byakugan of Ishiki Otsutsuki, which is a really good counter move, by the way. And Ishiki Otsutsuki grows absolutely enraged over this, and he just punches Naruto to the ground, and he says to Kawaki that I'm counting down to 20 in that particular time frame. If you are not coming back, I'm going to kill Naruto right here and right now. Now, before coming to Kawaki's stuff, I just want to point out to this panel right here. Just look at Sasuke, man. Here in this frame, he is really reminding me a lot about Madara, especially after he was defeated in the war. The Uchiha genes are really coming out here. But anyway, moving forward, the most important point here is that Kawaki is trying to hide from Ishiki Otsutsuki, but alas, he is having his flashback PTSD here, and the anime did a really good job with this because he is remembering all the horrible stuff that he had to go through. And honestly, believe me, this was a really good addition to the overall lore of the anime because it makes a lot more sense to give us some more in-depth information about Ishiki Otsutsuki, or rather Jigen, and the relationship between Kawaki. Some of these scenes are really difficult to watch as well, but in the midst of all of that, we get a juxtaposition shot of Naruto and how much he cared for Kawaki, just like his very own son. And with that, he has a renewed resolve and he appears in front of Ishiki Otsutsuki, and that's where this episode finally comes to a stop. Now, obviously, manga readers will say that the anime has omitted one particular scene from the very end, I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone here right now, but I'm fine with it because the narrative makes sense. It really makes sense for Kawaki to end the episode right here, because this particular panel, this scene right here is reminding everyone obviously of the time skip. How, like, what happened to Teen Kawaki? Why did he change so much? Now, for the manga readers, I've already made a video talking about Kawaki and why I feel like he's not the true villain of the series, so you can watch this video right here. But anyway, this is episode 217 of Boruto. I'm absolutely a huge fan of it. So what do you guys think about all of these things? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. This is WonderYZ. See you all on the next one. In the meantime, be sure to join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features, and join our Discord server for more. See you all on the next one.